Nuh-uh.
The fuck you mean, nah?
What's going on, everybody, and welcome to Sith Happens, Star Wars podcast. I am joined by my two loveliest of hosts, my boy Matty Ice and Ant, otherwise known as Black Series Daily Disc, and I am not a committee, otherwise known as Honey and Boo Boo to me. So, how are you guys doing?
Hello, Boo Bear.
I'd really like to know who's Honey and who's Boo Boo before we get into the intros.
I'm okay with both.
It's all just a secret for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll go Boo Boo. You want to go Boo Boo? I was going to go Honey. Really?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, cool.
You can be the Honey to my Boo Boo.
Boo Boo and Honey. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Anyway, I'm doing great. Thank you for asking.
Yeah, we're both doing really well. It's not. Nobody here is really tired tonight or being weird.
No,
so that's
no,
good.
but we
good.
are happy to be here and talk Star Wars
for
a little bit here with you guys.
Definitely.
Yes, absolutely.
We love talking Sith with everybody on the cast. So let's rock and roll.
And we got some awesome stuff. Yeah, we got some awesome stuff covered today. So if you are not aware, Hasbro Pulse Livestream happened today, and we had some amazing drops today.
Yes,
nothing
really
that
cool
was
stuff.
Nothing groundbreaking by any means, but like stuff that was like really, really cool to get, in my opinion, and some stuff that I was not expecting, mind you. So we're gonna kind of dive into some of these and kind of show off what we have and everything like that. So I'm going to put my glasses on because I can't see a damn thing.
We are just like on drugs on this cast. We are going to do the Hasbro Pulse Livestream. We're going to react to an Andor trailer, and then we're going to talk some action figures that we own in a couple promotions, just so everybody knows.
So we are going to start off with... Yes. We're going to start off with TVC just because we're going to work through TVC, get into Black Series, and then get into the trailer. With that being said,
I actually am a little excited about some TVC action here. Just because.
Are you going to buy the TVC figures, or do you? Oh no, it's because you think they're going to come out in Black Series.
Well, I mean, it's probable.
It is very
it's going to happen. Yeah.
Well, I'll say it when we get to him. Okay.
We'll say when we get to him.
The figure. I mean,
the figure.
The
Did you kick off with that guy, or I don't know what order.
I don't know. I don't know who you're talking about.
It's all a surprise. I'm in control.
About Eric, the Dadalorian.
Eric's all about surprises today.
He's a man of surprise.
I was
he
just trying to
get
show
the Witcher the right of surprise. Oh, there we go. It's
all
happening,
right, honey.
That's the one we were talking about.
Oh yeah,
yes.
That's the boy.
We got Carson Teva in TVC finally. And honestly, I mean, it looks great. You know, they really captured Paul in the way he looks, and honestly, it's his Mandalorian ensemble because he's got the Rebel blaster with him and everything that. It looks really sick for a TVC, honestly. Like, the TVCs are getting a lot better with details, honestly.
Yeah, so I do have high hopes that we'll get a Black Series of this, but I just think that this character is such a cool character that has been created for the Mandoverse. Like, he's fun. He pops in for a minute. He's not overused. He's gone, and then we want more. So, like much like in the show itself, I want more. Please bring him to Black Series, Hasbro, if you're listening. And also, did I see something online, like a little back and forth with him and somebody else about that might have
Mr. Stevie, like yesterday or 2 days ago, and I kind of tipped their hat. I think, but also like to your point. Well, first of all, he's like the connective thread in the Mandoverse, which I could not be happier about. But also to your point, I mean, I first was like, oh, TVC, but then I was like, no, good for them, first of all. Second of all, I mean, I still remember all I wanted was a Mandalore Maul. Like, and then they announced him for TVC, and I was livid that they were getting that figure, and I wasn't. And then I really thought about it, and I was like, well, they'll probably just make it in Black Series. And, lo and behold, 6 months later, announced as a Black Series figure. The thing that I wonder is, and I understand, we've talked about it with SW Toy Collector, things like that, about, just pricing and, how there are figures that are not necessarily selling right now, right? And some of the selection, like in how they select figures. I always wonder why this and granted, when this figure became Black Series, you'd have the initial rush on him, and this is definitely like one of those side character figures that ends up going on closeout. Like, I have no doubt
we
about
love
that.
him this much doesn't mean everybody does necessarily.
Hardcore Star Wars fans, I think the general public at large should be like, oh, that guy. but like I kind of wonder what took so long for them to make him. It's just like, and I understand there's like myriad factors that go into that, but this is a figure I feel like was such a low hanging fruit. But if he's getting the jacket and stuff, and they're going to build the body type out, it's way better than getting, you know, every other figure we get in a flight suit that's the same height as, you know, Luke Skywalker in his X-Wing suit with an old body mold, you know, with the head peg that sticks up. Yeah, so like I think it'll be really exciting to see if we get something a little bit different for Black Series and, you know, worth the wait, I would say.
I think it's definitely coming down the road, because I imagine he's going to have a big role in the Mando Grogu movie, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they potentially could be saving him for that. But, you know, we'll see, right?
That's a good thought.
Yeah, time will tell. But yeah, I'm with you on that.
What's next?
But we are moving right along with our next one, which is another TVC, and also not one that was, this one was not like earth-shattering by any means, but it's kind of cool to get it back in TVC, as they say.
Well, and another thing, I really don't pay attention at all to TVC, so when these announcements happen, it is pretty much like brand new to me. So like, so for this one, for example, like the Black Series Dengar is one of my favorite figures.
I love that figure,
and I'm just happy for TVC collectors. Like, this is great.
Yeah,
you know, it's a great figure. What a cool character. I'm a Dengar stan. I always have been since I was a kid. I remember when the Power of the Force Dengar figure came out, I was way too excited for that figure. I think, but if you look at his Legends backstory, he's so like linked to Han Solo. And they his injuries came from like, I think like a swoop bike race with Han Solo or something. Wow. You go back and look at old Legends. So like when I was a kid, this was a character, like to me, Boba Fett was more of an enemy for Luke. Cause like Mando, Jedi, yes, he captured Han and he was a part of that whole underworld. But you know, in movies,
even
really
in his very first, sorry to interrupt you, but his very first debut, Boba's, you know, that was against Luke. Essentially,
exactly.
I mean, Luke didn't know it yet, but
and that's I think for me, he was more of a. As I got older, I think Boba Han just because it's cool, but you know, as a kid, I think Dengar became a lot more of a villain for me for Han. So there's a special place that Dengar holds in my heart.
Yeah, cool figure,
undoubtedly, man. Cool figure, not ground shattering by any means, like I said, but something nice to get and certainly great for TVC collectors like myself. But this next one is a big one, actually. I am super stoked about this, and I'm going to share this up with you guys right now. And it is the Land Speeder coming back in TVC. So this was
very cool.
This was actually out like years ago originally. And it's back out. So it's got the retro packaging on the front and new packaging on the side, and you can see it right there. It's got like the sand troopers and everything else. And I mean, it just looks sick, honestly. It comes with the Tatooine Luke Skywalker with like all the accessories, and you can see right here, I'll actually pause the video there. It's got try to pause the video there, I guess.
What a detailed engine. Yeah.
So it actually has like the cloth cape, the cycler, his lightsaber ignited and not ignited, as well as the macro binoculars and his hat. So like he comes with a lot of accessories on this one.
That's awesome.
Pretty impressive. And then the details on the speeder themselves, as you can see, are really, really good in this one. All the painting, wiring, and stuff in the engine block there, it looks legit.
It looks real.
Yeah, it really
fantastic.
does. It does, and it looks fantastic. And one of the things, I'll pause it here, that they hit in the Hasbro Pulse Livestream, that was big. So in the original one, you could not get the original scene of like Luke, Ben, and 3PO and R2 in this, because this back mold right here was not in the original one. So now there's room back there to sit 3PO and R2 where you can make that original scene.
Yeah,
so I thought
really
that was cool. And then
that's where like that scale is so much fun, I think, for collectors. Whereas like I collected a bigger scale, it really gives that opportunity for them to do that surprise and delight.
Yeah, and then this lever right here in the middle is actually functional because it raises and lowers the wheels on it. So they're clear plastic, so it can make it look like it's hovering, but you know, kind of depending on how you want to display it or use it in photos, this actually comes in with that now. So very impressive, honestly, and I'm very, very happy with this reveal, honestly. Luke, like I said, looks amazing. And the price on this is actually not that bad for a TVC vehicle. It's at $80. Which, given the detail,
you get a lot of value out of that. Yeah,
you do. Like, that's my thing. You do get a lot of value out of this. And I think you can get really good photographs out of this one, especially for folks like you two who've been doing photographs of action figures for a while, and myself, who's kind of started that in the last, couple of months and everything like that. Pretty impressed with that one. So.
Yeah, that was my next question for you. Are you going to buy this for photos, Eric? That was
I don't think so, man. I've really been on Black Series with photos, and like I just like the way they pose. They are. It's easier to pose, and it's just better in my opinion. But TVC is good for them too. I do like TVC on certain things, and TVC is less expensive typically, so that's a nice thing as well.
I gotta plug my computer, folks. I'll be right back.
Okay. Right. Ant wants everybody to know that he really liked it, though, and that he's also excited.
3 days later.
I am excited. I'm very excited.
Can you sit under your desk for every cast, and then when you want to talk, pop up? Like, I have something to say. Yeah, like the Oscar of the Growl. You're like the worm on the asteroid in Empire Strikes Back. Just comes out.
That's insulting. That's insulting.
You almost ate the Millennium Falcon.
All right, guys.
Almost. Almost only counts in horseshoes and hand
we're
grenades.
Good. In this wacky episode,
that's what they say.
Let's bring the thunder with more figures.
And we are moving into a big one I was excited for, actually, in TVC. And that is going to be...
I don't even know what this one is.
Oh, I know.
Hold up. And...
Oh, yeah.
Yep, we got our boy, Alexander Callis. Honestly, yes. So... I was wondering if we were going to get him in anything, to be honest with you, and obviously very cartoony because it's him from Rebel series. But looks great, man. It's got the Lasat weapon and everything. The helmet is a little bit big, in my opinion, on him. But overall, I'm actually stoked that we get this in there, and it is good for TVC collectors because now with the Ghost HasLab that came out, you can use all of those figures and recreate some scenes with this and everything like that. So it's a big reveal, in my opinion.
Yeah, Luminous Monster caught a rumor that there's going to be 2 Rebels figures in the next year for Black Series, and it sounds like one of them, based on the hints, is alluding to Kanan, based on what he heard, and the other one might be Callus. So we might finally get our.
The TK Trooper would be cool too, though.
Filled
honestly,
yeah. I feel like the TK Trooper would be cool, but if it was between Callus, although if I got like a Black Series Callus, I want a double blaster situation.
I guess what I'm trying to say is I'll probably be happy with whatever they come out with.
You definitely will. I know you.
It's just it's me.
Constant optimist.
I'm just happy with Star Wars, so you know what?
Yeah, we're getting action figures. I feel like today there was a little bit of a from a lot of people on the internet and friends that of mine too. And I think I wasn't like as stoked as I thought I would be. I mean, maybe it's because of leaks. You kind of know. So you're just waiting for when your thing is going to be on there. But at the same time, I'm excited about all these figures we get in the Black Series. But I think they're really clearing the deck for Celebration and May the 4th right now. So there's so many things that are like parts from China that have leaked and rumors. And I feel like we're going to have. I think we were looking at it before, and we can talk after to speculate. But like Gagface was like, expect at least like more than a dozen, combined or more from each line to be announced at Celebration or closer to.
So I think
we're going to get. I don't remember if you guys remember the onslaught from the last Celebration. They had these crazy announcements, and then you were like, "Oh my god!" And it was like all the Obi-Wan figures, and then the next day they were like, "Oh, by the way, we're gonna do Gaming Greats Maul from Rebels. We're gonna do." And it was just like, "Holy god!" It's like every time you opened your phone, it cost you. It's going to cost you $25 at minimum at some point.
Literally, for a while there, it was just like, ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy.
Yeah, exactly. It was just crazy. The serotonin was at an all-time high that day.
Absolutely.
But and on that note, Black Series.
Nope, we got one more TVC.
Wait, really?
Man, this is actually the one I think I'm most excited for, and I think a lot of fans are, because this has been a super desired TVC for years now, honestly, and I'm stoked that we're getting it. From the Clone Wars, we are finally getting Asajj Ventress.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah.
Good figure. This is top tier for TVC. Cloth goods in the dress and the stuff there. Comes with both the lightsabers there, ignited and stationary, so she can mount them on her belt there.
This question is going to let you know how much I pay attention to TVC. Their lightsaber blades do not come out.
I don't believe so. I've messed more with Black Series, so I don't.
You don't take them out of the box.
Yeah,
no, I don't take TVC.
Crazy.
Well, if anyone wants to chime in.
Yeah, if anybody's chiming in a lot, this is embarrassing. I was going to say, though, that figure looks great. I mean, I love the Black Series one. My thing about the Black Series one, and I guess, like, so it's funny. When it's a cartoon character translated to Black Series, I typically want it to look like a realistic version. And we're going to get into this a little more later in the cast, Eric and I. And, like, the Callus figure especially, I was jealous a little bit when I found out. But then I was like, it still looks kind of cartoony. The only exception to that for me is I love the Black Series Ventress figure, but I wish the face sculpt was a little bit more of a happy medium between real life and cartoon. And I think the face sculpt lends a little bit more to reality for me. And that figure looks like it is that medium that I really could hope for. So I think that's really cool.
Yep.
Yeah, so we did have a comment come in on YouTube, so just want to give a quick shout
out.
Do it. Hal Runner Base just came in and said, live podcast, let's go. So thanks for tuning in, brother. We appreciate you watching.
Thank you.
If TVC lightsaber blades come out of their
if you're watching,
you let us know. You let us know.
I think so. I followed him for a while. I think he does mess with TVC a little bit more than some of the rest of us, so he might actually know.
Yeah. Help us, Hal Runner. You're our only hope.
Only hope.
With that, we're gonna move into Black Series now.
What really matter? I mean, Blacks.
Hell yeah.
This is the good stuff here. So no helmets this time. But like we said earlier, I think they're gonna save big stuff for Celebration coming up here in about a month now. But this first one here was one that I thought was gonna be something else when it got leaked initially. I had initially thought it was an Old Man Rex mold because of the way the face looks. But you can see where I kind of got that vibe when you see it. Let me just go ahead and pull it up here.
Hey, anticipation is killing me. Anticipation's killing me, guys, for those who didn't understand.
I can just say what it is. You guys want?
Yep.
I think this figure looks fantastic. Honestly,
it's coming. I did.
Yep.
Yeah.
There we go.
Gotta be.
Jabba the Hutt. Yeah, Jabba the Hutt and Lando Calrissian all in one. I'm so excited for this figure. The more I think about it, this figure looks fantastic. Here's what I love about it. If you look closely, look at the butterfly joints on the shoulders. I think they've separated the soft plastic on the vest enough that you're really going to get like this kind of a range of motion out of it. 'Cause you know, with a lot of these, the butterfly joints are on like everything, but anything plastic on them, you kind of don't get that. Can't go in like this. And that's what always kills me. We talked about it a couple of weeks ago with the last set of announcements on Jedi figures. Is like your Jedi figures can do like 4 poses. It was much better with the Acolyte figures. That one looks really good. I think like my initial reaction to this, and probably the one that you're showing next, was they're limited use for me for photographs, right? Because they exist in a very specific place and time. I can do like a what if about it or find, ways to incorporate them. But
there is no number of what ifs you could do about it. The
possibilities
are endless. They're endless.
You are better at that off the cuff inspiration than I am in that regard. But that was my first response. But then in the end, like getting a grown up Ezra figure and it looks like that, like I've got to get away from the how do I use this for my photos all the time and more into the I'm just excited to have this character.
Yeah. Hey, not to cut you off there, man, but we did get an answer from HalRunner_base on YouTube.
There we go.
The TVC blades don't come out. It's been a minute since they've started including a separate hilt. So good news. He did say TVC is his like main jam. So
right.
Nice, dude.
I didn't think they did either, honestly.
Thank you for chiming in.
You are our unofficial fourth host for the night. Yeah, there we go.
For the night.
And we are going to move into the next Black Series.
Hold on, this guy's got something to say. Jeez.
I got something to say.
Sorry about the
I got something to say. No,
God.
with regards to
Ezra, and you're gonna just diffuse it.
What do you think the odds are that they might release like a multi-pack with him and a couple of his little buddies?
The crab people? For Hasbro,
I mean, how cool would that be?
They're gonna hostage pack it, one crab buddy and then him. The same figure, nothing different. I mean, you know what though would be really sick? I would buy a pack if it was a slightly different Night Trooper armor with his head on it. If it wasn't like the same Night Trooper and it had like 3 crab buddies, I would get down on that pack because you can make another Night Trooper.
He didn't have the buddies when he was.
Hey, Hal Runner just chimed in. He just chimed in. He said, "The Prince of Peridia, let my people go."
Facts, but no, but I'm saying like, Ant. You could just use them separately, you know. Come on,
I know.
These were the what ifs.
You know, remember when they came out with that R5, and then like the next announcement later was R5 with 2 pit droids, and it's like, oh, cool, I just got R5, and now
hostage packs.
Yeah,
that's
I didn't get it.
But yeah, you could paint R5. You could. I mean, maybe it's a world where
I don't do that
R5s.
though. I don't do that.
I don't do
that.
Ain't
Ain't me, bro. That ain't me.
That ain't me, bro. I don't do painting. But no, I think that'd be awesome. I would definitely buy that pack if it was him in like a slightly different Night Trooper armor that's got like the ribbons a little bit elsewhere. Or even if it was the same but a different helmet, I could live with that.
Here's the deal, though.
I could definitely see us getting that in TBC, honestly.
Yeah, I mean you can still do it, but I'm saying I would do that for the crab.
I get you. Okay. I mean, I just think Hasbro likes to dick you. And give you the same character again with a couple extras, and it annoys me. Okay,
are you just figuring this one out?
I'm venting right now. That's what's happening.
Hey, listen, it's been a salty day. I think, for the internet. Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. Oh, that is what podcasts are exactly for. Everybody that's ever had a bad. I'm mad about this. I should start a podcast. The world's clamoring for it, but it's 100% true.
All right, what's
We're
next?
not that
Come
type
on,
of
Eric.
podcast.
We've been waiting on you for the last like 3 minutes. Let's go.
I know. I'm sorry. Sorry, I had to refill water. Before we go in the next one, he just chimed again.
Tonight.
He just chimed in again. I saw a leak of a full Death Trooper helmet a while back. My impression that we might be getting a 2-pack, Ezra in knight armor and a full helmet Death Night Trooper. Be sick. Would be totally sick.
Yeah, I'll do that too. Yeah. And that is not a hostage pack. If that is a helmet, you can have a compliment. I'm so into that. Let's hope
get this guy a job at Hasbro.
Yeah. Power Runner, let us know what we need to do to help move you along with the power that we have.
Eric knows people.
Not that many people.
He knows
it's a great segue into our next action figure, which is the Night Trooper.
Yeah.
So now, so cool. Minor gripe. Go on, then I'll tell you my minor.
This right here, right? The number.
No, I saw that too. It's the same number.
So
that is right.
So that is a thing. So that's actually Anakin's number. So that is an error on that one. So that's something that Yakface pointed out today, I think. But in addition to that,
I agreed. I'm like, that box is going to the trash. I don't care about the number.
Yeah, I was just saying, it's unfortunately for me.
I'll still keep it in the box. They'll fix the number. I know that. But I'll tell you what. Maybe you guys can tell me if I'm wrong on this. Homie looks thick.
I was thinking but here's my thing. Here's what it is. I take a lot of pictures of my custom Death Troopers on my page, Black Series Daily Desk, for those that are listening. And I love them. And this, although the body's a little thick, is a new body sculpt. And anybody that has taken a lot of pictures trying to stand up Death Troopers will tell you, they're not impossible to stand up, but they're not the world's greatest to pose.
No, and that is an absolute fact.
Getting a new body for this, and like stoked it's a zombie Death Trooper. I can find more uses than this, I think, even than I can find for Ezra, like when we say like coming up with things, because I have Night Troopers, I have Enoch, I have, that they're on, there's a way to do this, and I can do adventures like that with Ezra, I should say. But if this was just a Death Trooper with a new body mold, even if it was a little tick, I would be so excited for the posability. Although I will say one of my favorite things was the 3-pack that came with the original Rogue One series, Black Series figures. That was the Cassian you couldn't get single pack that ultimately was when they released it. The Jin that they made every which way you could get that figure. And the Death Trooper with the web harness with the grenades across it. I actually have 2 of that figure. One of them is custom painted, and I even found at one point some guy, I couldn't even replace these if I wanted to, who made those Death Trooper long rifles that have the 2 flashlights at the bottom. So I've got like a tricked out Death Trooper. So I would love for them to do some kind of a Death Trooper 2-pack at some point that's just the standard Death Trooper with that body and one with the web gear and that long gun. It would make my entire life.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think the thing that just tripped me out about this is like, so Death Troopers have always been like super lean and tall, and this looks just average height and definitely like a thick boy.
Maybe that Death Trooper lifts weights. I mean, listen, Thrawn got heavy. They've been on a planet for like
they've been out there
something years eating crab people dipped in butter. What do you expect?
That is not low calorie.
He's also dead, and that causes he's dead. That causes body bloat. That could make sense.
True.
That's
you have to remember that
I hear
he puts the death is what I hear.
Yeah.
All right, let's get out with this big reveal here.
Yes, this is the big one. Now, we knew this was coming for a while, but honestly, the one I'm most excited about, because it's coming from a show that I have zero complaints about, and I loved every freaking second of it, and I'm so stoked that I want to play Major Tom in the background, but unfortunately, copyright doesn't like that. Oops, excuse me, as we get that. And it's our boy SM. Yes. It's our boy SM33.
Looks awesome.
And it extends. That's my favorite thing. It extends. It does. Like when you say deluxe figure, and I think this one's only like 35, right? Like they're not creeping you up into 40, if I remember correctly.
Worth it.
This is worth. If it was 40, this is worth it. You can, as a photographer, get a billion poses out of this. But just, oh my God, look at that. That is, you know what? I was in a salty mood today. Now that I'm looking at this again this evening, talking about it with 2 of my best friends, this is quite a figure, boys.
This is quite a figure. What impresses me too is it comes with an acrylic base stand.
Yeah.
Well, because it'd be impossible to stand it with that.
Dude,
I'm going to challenge you to stand
other action figure come like that. I've only ever seen one other action figure come with that, and it was my Rocket Trooper, and it was just absolutely like, I'm so stoked about this one, dude. It looks amazing. And it has the mouse in the eye, which I was just like, oh my God, attention to detail.
Yeah, it does. Wait, did you zoom that in? I didn't even notice that. This all came out when I was at work today, so I've been
right there, right in the eye.
Oh my God. My question is, do we consider that a 2-pack at that point?
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Tack
the
on
mouse
an
is
extra $5.
a little bit of its own character, but it just looks so good. Yep. And the details on everything, it just looks so freaking good, honestly. Like, and there's the extended shot.
Yes.
The extended shots, I mean, that just does it. Like, you could not have asked them. Like, anybody that's within the limitations of not making like a $90 Math-X or like SH Fig Arts action figure that, you have with like the product and, making sure that it's accessible for everybody and the cost of plastic and the cost of shipping and everything that's going on in the world with that. You could not ask for a better figure at this price point with that kind of detail, posability. Like, you can't. Like, there's nothing to complain about. That is
this was an absolute grand slam by Hasbro. Honestly, absolute grand slam.
Yeah, and I mean, he was a great character, and in that show, I don't know if I think it was Yak Face. Someone commented on it, and they were talking like, they were like, "Yeah, it looks like a figure from the '80s," like implying it kind of looked like garbage, and the people just responded back, and they were just like, "Bro, the show emulates the '80s. Like, this is what it was all about. The figure is true to form."
Looks like somebody's got a case of the hot takes. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like,
if you didn't enjoy the show,
I'm gonna shit. Yeah, that's the most I'm gonna shit in everybody's cereal comment I've ever heard. That figure is fantastic.
It's one of the best.
Definitely the one I am the most excited for by far, honestly. That came out today. I'm just super impressed with it. Great series that I loved to death, and honestly, probably my favorite character in the show. And yeah, just super killer,
I
man.
have not seen outside of Brutus and what's his name?
Jod.
Jesus.
Jod
outside
Captain
of Brutus
Silva.
and Jod, I have not seen a single Black Series figure of the kids in stores.
I have not seen any.
I have never seen any, but I don't go to stores as often as you guys sell them.
Actually, I take that back. When I was in Ohio, I found a little comic shop that had some, and they were trying to charge $45 each.
Dude,
I was like, no, thank you.
I think I looked at what they're going for. I feel like the only one was so funny.
Normal.
Remember
Amazon, their normal prices.
Yeah, Neil spiked, and you bought him at late spikes.
Do you remember on the cast, I was like, the only one I'm going to buy, I'm going to wait for the rest, is Neil, and I bought it that night, and the next week we were like, it's spiked to double.
You know, I'm kind of glad that I don't have that I waited.
Pretty good.
Yeah, he did. I'm kind of glad that I waited till after the show wrapped up, because initially I would have bought Neil first, and I love Neil. But I think now that I've watched it, I'm having a really hard time with their names. But what's KB? What?
I was just gonna let you go. I was just letting you have it.
Thank you, Eric, for
backing me up. It's been that long since the series been on.
Well, I have a 1.5-year-old child, and my brain is mush. So,
fair enough.
She ended up probably being my favorite. No, it's not. But she ended up being probably my favorite. I don't want to say favorite character, but her arc in that show was just really. It was done really well.
Her character growth was great in the show.
Her
given the opportunity
when more crab people, trash crabs.
Yep. Yes. Yep.
But anyways, guys, so that wraps up for Hasbro Pulse Live this week, and absolutely killed it. Loved what we got revealed. Nothing that was like groundbreaking reveals, but still super excited about these ones. And some additional stuff that we had revealed this week. And it's going to be a bit of a live reaction for me. I know you two have seen that. Is the Andor Season 2 trailer. We're
look at Eric like this while he's watching in whatever corner he's on your screen, and like judge his reactions. Then we can talk about our reaction to Eric's reactions.
That's actually not
like
bad.
That, but I will. Yeah.
So I have not watched the trailer yet, and I mean that I have not seen a thing from this trailer. I've had a crazy weekend of travel, coming back to work, so like this is going to be the first time of me seeing this.
He hasn't seen
it. All of you guys watching this live right now or on the podcast are going to get to see that exactly as we pull it up here and kind of just give a very quick little breakdown afterwards. So let's see.
If you don't watch trailers before the show, now would be a good time to go ahead and stop watching. To clarify.
Really, no audio?
Is there no audio coming through?
No.
Not on my end.
Nah.
Well, let us know what you think of the images.
It's a different.
Are you getting audio? Yeah.
No, I'm not.
Damn. All right. Maybe it won't show that. Maybe it won't do audio then. Hold on.
Let's see this. Talk about it while you're watching it. We don't need to try. Okay. Hell Runner, are you getting audio?
Are you still there?
Hold on. I'm trying to see.
Get out of here. Get out of here.
This is all first time I think we showed video with sound in it, to be honest with you. So
Eric's gonna look at it. I'm gonna go off script for a minute and talk. This is not Collector's Corner, but I'm just gonna get this out of the way right now. Matt showed this figure off before, and I got Basil recently.
Excited.
I am, but I have a dedicated other item that I dedicated about 5 minutes before the show. I promised myself.
You want to hijack and do a Basil, and then you do the trailer, and then you do your real one?
Yeah, no, I'm hijacking. Oh, okay. Well, I don't have. I'm just showing him off. I mean,
I'm just gonna cut you off when he gets the sound works.
I got nothing to complain about with him.
That figure is so good. When I took photos of that figure, like I think to edit them, it looks real.
And I didn't even realize that his visor went down.
So it looks like we're not going to be able to do audio for it.
We'll talk about it. You can run it through. I can point this out.
I could have read it. They had the
we'll jump right back to where I was, so I could hear it. So
it's a different kind of mission.
We've seen it.
Okay, so there's really not a lot. We are going back to Canary,
and it goes up in flames.
I think you are. I think what I like is, and it's going to come up in a second. I don't want to ruin it for you, but so this right here, I think we're watching in that scene right there. The opening of the season. Like, I think so. This is the opening of the season. I think it's going to be. We've seen them running through. We've seen them running through the field. That's great. That's my favorite part. The K2SO just knocking that guy out of the way.
I love seeing that alien
big furry guy. Yeah, the big furry guy from
is she getting force choked?
She's getting force choked. It looks like, which is like awesome.
It's maybe force choke. I think I'm not 100% sure.
What I mean, I feel like it's pretty force choky.
It is. And here's the thing is it doesn't have to be Vader. It could be an Inquisitor. Right? Yeah,
it could be. That's true. It does not have to be Vader. God. I mean, it looks, I mean,
right?
Here's what I liked
Inquisitors
about
are still a thing. Yeah.
Yeah. What I liked about this trailer overall was it was a lot more of the ominous, voices in the distant, like very like, looming shots, things like that. So like the last trailer, we got some like real action. They did the featurette was like a mix. So they're kind of like, they tried to bring in everybody they could with that first trailer, which was awesome. Right. And I remember I said they got the memo about people thinking it was slow. And then, so they did that. And then now we've shifted a little more into like something that feels more Andor. Because now that you've gotten people's attention, which is a nice sequential ad campaign for those that work in advertising, as far as your rollout strategy.
It's like you do that for a living.
But yeah, almost. But so what got me really excited was the first Andor trailer. You see these guys that are in like real dinged up stormtrooper armor. They're not wearing helmets. They have goggles. There has been a factory leak of what looks like they'll be making one of those guys, which I'm really excited about because there's a part of me that's like, are they ISB? Are they more like Imperial SWAT? Are they like a more aggressive form of the, riot troops? Like, what are they? And what I love is you're going to get to see K2SO swat one of them off a catwalk when you watch that trailer, which makes me want that figure even more. So like,
that is the only one from the Rogue One line I do not have, as a matter of fact.
And it's been the easiest to get. I think we talked about it. I might just buy you one day as a surprise and send it to you.
It's just one I put off because I'm investing in the other stuff. I'll get it eventually, but
once the season starts, you're gonna start getting inspired to take Andor photos. And that'll be the end all.
Probably.
I think this trailer to me was like, I mean, all of what you said, like roped us in with that first trailer, and then this one kind of really just dropped like the bombshell of, I think the reality of what's happening here. It is a lot darker in that sense. Like this is it for, in their minds, for a lot of them, and they know that. This is them going up against this totalitarian like regime that is just going to likely crush them, and they're just doing it anyway. And that's what this trailer really showed me. And I'm like, this is brilliant and horrifying all at once.
Yeah, this is I agree. And I think, like I said, I think the opening of the show is going to be that wheat field with all the survivors of Ferrix. You know what I mean? Like that's going to be, I think we're going to get that I really think we're going to get that as an opening, or that's going to be the catalyst for like more of a, I think it's going to be the opening or the catalyst for like a big action sequence. Cause you see the X-Wings kind of on that planet landing and taking off and blowing up in Imperial transports. Like that's going to happen there. And there's a big part of me that thinks Bix is going to start out in hiding. And when that happens, that's what's going to pull her into the rebellion with Cassian, because she went off and hid with them. And I think our boy Brazos might be Brazo, whatever his name is, Andor's best friend. I think that might be curtains for that dude. My thing is B2 EMO. If he dies, it may be very difficult for me to finish the show. I spent a lot of time worrying about that little guy during season 1, and things he's not even in the trailer, and I know things are not looking good. So,
but you know what?
So there's a big rumor right now that when they get K2, B2's conscience gets put into K2.
I mean, that's a total retcon of canon, but like that would make my
it's one of those things where it's like,
life.
But it's something somebody brought up in one of those fan channels.
I don't hate that at all. It's no different than
I think that's a rumor, but yeah,
Anakin turn into Darth Vader.
I agree. And I mean, listen, I think one of the coolest things they did in Solo was that the Falcon is what's her name? That L3. The Falcon's L3, because they always talk about the Falcon like it's a character. She. C-3PO in Empire goes, what a strange computer when he talks to the Falcon. That's her. She's telling him to liberate himself. I love Solo. We could do a whole episode on how much I love Solo. We all know probably many reasons, myriad reasons why. I'm saying myriad twice tonight. It's pretty good. 3 times with that. But I love that movie. And that's one of those little touches that I think brought so much more depth to the Falcon as a character.
Absolutely.
And, so I'm cool with it, as long as it will be cool if it's at war with the Imperial programming, and that's why it's so sexy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Well, unless like a band's best friend type of droid. But yeah, B2MO is a dog, and it makes me think of like somebody's dog getting hurt when you watch it.
Yeah.
So
well, what you just made me remember is that
That's what I was talking about, Howl Runner. Hell yeah, this guy is the fourth host tonight. Or gal, I don't know who you are.
This guy's popping in for us, man.
This individual
I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
Clutch.
You can become the person on a talk show that's
on the screen too.
yeah. You can become Howler. You can become our person on like a talk show that just chimes in from behind the screen and just pops little prompts up and reminds us. Yeah,
I like that. If it ever gets awkward, just throw something up and we'll just start talking about that.
Yeah, when it's quiet, just point something out at us.
This is good
cool,
stuff.
Yeah, I'm stoked. The trailer looked fantastic.
Yeah, no,
absolutely.
I think it's gonna really seal Andor as. I feel like, and this is very anticipatory, but as just like top show as far as Star Wars content goes, like I think Andor season 1 in a lot of ways is at the top for me, just because it's the show, the concept, everything about it is it is the guts of Star Wars.
Yeah. No, I mean, well, that's why I think it is the absolute. It gives Star Wars teeth that Star Wars never had. And it really explains, I've said this on the cast before, the Empire was like, I'm going to blow up your planet. Now all of a sudden you're like, oh, this is like a full totalitarian. And you know who also did a great job of that? Bad Batch. I mean, they literally give you a 101 on how totalitarian regimes take control of... Thank you, Howl Runner. He's here. He's staying. He's
always...
but so the... Tell all your friends and loved ones. But so, yeah, no, I think that they gave you a step-by-step on how a totalitarian regime achieves power. And I think some of the stuff they're doing, even in that's a children's show in Star Wars that in Andor is continuing, is they're applying the reality to this so you understand the stakes when it's lighter. And I love that.
And here's the other thing about that's really cool is that, like, you and I, or everyone is going to be able to interpret this however they want to. You know, like us, the hardcore Star Wars fans, we could delve into this and find, you know, all sorts of shit like this. You could have someone who isn't as big into Star Wars who's going to just watch it and enjoy it. You could have a younger individual who knows nothing about the shittiness of the world who will just see pure Star Wars, and it's brilliant for that reason.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, I know we are running. We wanted to do a quick one, but whenever we say we're going to do that, you know, we can just giggle. We'll move right along. Eric, I believe you have a lightsaber to hawk.
Yes, I do, and I know for a fact, excuse me here, I know for a fact that Ant is going to go bonkers for this one, as a matter of fact.
Ooh.
Yeah, and it's a bit of a surprise. As I said earlier, I'm throwing a bit of a mulligan in there and showing one just kind of off the cuff here, and this is one of the sickest ones to come out, in my opinion. And once it loads,
Nelly.
We got the Strangers. Yep. What? So SaberMax Lightsabers got this in a little bit ago, and it just came back in stock. This sold out, actually. Like, this is a hot seller. So the Stranger is available right
awesome,
now.
Even though the Acolyte got so much hate, like, the Stranger is still like a top tier. Everybody wants it.
100%. Leaked 100%. Figure parts from China also. Let's go. Coming announcements. But yeah,
talk about this saber. I
think that'll be one that we get at around Celebration, honestly.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, so
is there pictures of
Xenopixel 3. Yeah, so like it breaks apart and everything. So like you can have it as you see the pictures down here as the single blade.
Cool.
And it does break apart into the primary and the Shoto blade. And with SaberMax, it's actually cool because you can pick the length of the sabers that you want. So it's like a very customizable thing for you that I'm definitely stoked for. Howlrunner Base, he said it himself, you know. That's kind of how I felt when I saw this one myself, man. It was actually pretty wild to see this one come up and everything.
That is a nice looking saber. That's a sharp blade, as I just said.
It is sleek.
Yeah. So,
so it is
from now. If we find out at Celebration that there's a Chimera figure coming out, I'm gonna lose my mind.
Yeah, undoubtedly.
The parts have leaked, so that should be coming out. But yeah,
that will definitely be a purchase. And
I told you I don't pay attention to that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I think we should all split it and go in on this lightsaber, and we can just ship it, and everybody gets to have it for a month.
Or we could do sometimes where you could ship both halves, and so two people, you know, there's a rotation, you know.
That's after the first couple.
I'm looking at the 6 of them I got on my wall right now in my dark saber
road
in front of me. I think you guys are the ones who need the sabers.
Well, I've already got it planned out on my calendar.
The rotation. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. So,
do you get a discount?
Yeah,
Maybe
so
we'll
this one's up.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways.
Yes. Well, that's actually what I was going to say. So right now it's up for $4.48 on the website, but they are having a big Easter sale right now where you automatically get 15% off. And if you use code the Dadalorian Special, you will also get an additional $15 off. Don't ask me to do math because that's not my strong suit. But it will save you a bunch of money on this amazing looking lightsaber. So yeah, you can check them out, SaberMaxLightsabers.com. Just look up The Stranger. And also while you're doing that, speaking of The Stranger, you guys have to go check out a guy I follow on Instagram. I'll send it to you guys. I think I might have sent it to you two already, called Nerd_Squadron, who just did the sickest Stranger cosplay.
Yeah, you said that was cool.
It is honestly top tier. Something I'm actually looking at potentially making myself here in the future.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Well, you'll be
I
no
got
stranger
some of the
to
stuff
us.
from my nihilist stuff, so it kind of crosses over like the attire and stuff. So it'd be a nice build to do. But we move into our favorite part of the show, Collector's Corner, and today's kind of a different one. Matt and I, we were texting earlier this week, and we were just like, all right, so before we get into that, that's how you know it's a fire figure when Eric opens it as well, and that is the damn truth, man. So I've been doing that more recently, and that's actually what we're doing today with our Collector's Corner, because Matt and I both got this one recently, and I was like, do I put it on the wall? Do I open it? And I was like, the box is a little bit dinged up because I got it from Amazon. So in 3, 2, 1, it's our boy Bakara.
Well, we picked different rifles. We didn't even plan that. That's good. It's a completely different figure. All right, which part do you want to talk about on Bakara, the Black Series figure, first, and which do I want to talk about?
So I'm just gonna say, so the clones that I have open are some of the Bad Batch, a 501st, and Fox. So I'm gonna say this: the armor on the shoulders moves so well. It's like the new Mandalorian armor.
You've been working with Fox,
yes.
like that's. Well, my thing that I like about it too is if you look at the back plate on this, and I have another new clone, but I didn't have time to check. But holding up the back plate here so you can kind of see it. The back plate looks pretty different and more like that Galactic Marine motif. And the last generation of clone bodies, the one that people didn't love, how short the Howard Runner. Tell us your favorite part, and if we don't cover it,
he just wants in. If I don't watch myself, I'm gonna be the one dropping comments.
Seriously, last in, first out. So what I like a lot about is the last clone body I found to be fantastic. The Gen 3 clone body, that was the one with the tighter shoulder pads. A lot of folks didn't like that. I get it. I mean, I'm good with those, but the newer clone bodies are they're spectacular. The floating chest armor on it is really good and rubberized. And I'll say, we were talking about this before the cast on the helmet. He's getting some flack on the internet for this helmet, looking a little wonky to some people. That gets into what I was alluding to earlier, and that is that I think a lot of folks want their Clone Wars figures to look how they remember them in the Clone Wars, even if it's a Revenge of the Sith line figure within the boxes.
Yeah.
More real, and I feel like this is pretty accurate to him in Revenge of the Sith, which I prefer when standing next to the more realistic figures. Honestly. Yeah, I'm really into it. I mean, I took a picture of his figure within like 20 minutes of opening it and posted it, which I was
same. I took it with me to work, and when I had some time, I was like, I busted that boy open and got a picture immediately. And out of all the ones that I've opened recently, obviously I've just gotten into opening within the last few months. I am so happy that this is one that I was like, immediately just let me pop this thing open because it photographs so nicely.
I was so bummed because I was originally going to have my commando droids were supposed to be coming this week. They were pushed back until May, which is so annoying. Oh no! And I was so ready to have a photo. No, right? They went from mid-April to this week to May in a week. But I wanted to have a photo of him standing like this, shooting a commando droid, and one's jumping over Kiadi Mundi because I got 2 commando droids coming, and I was like, I can wait, but I'm so bummed. Oh, what
perfect
quality control issues coming through?
It'd be the
I hear you on that. I think with the armor scuffing, if you're willing to jack up a figure and learn how to do early to that point, for those who are listening, how Runner was saying, seeing some quality control issues. I think some of the shoulder pads often have that, and then just like wanting a little more scuffing. I'm with you on the scuffing. I may buy a second one at some point, depending on how hard he is to get, because I'm trying to teach myself how to do paint washes a little bit, like more simpler ones. So I might do that to make this guy and, maybe one of my other figures like my test for the scuffing. I just want to practice on AliExpress figures a little bit before I even try to do that. Oh, those are like $25 now too. So it's like not even like so annoying. Anyway.
Yeah, it's all a little bit up there, but all right, Ant, we stole the spotlight enough, so why don't you go ahead with yours?
That was awesome. I'm not in that party. So yeah, I had a few ideas for tonight. Obviously I showed off Basil earlier, but I'm gonna do a lightsaber. I have not done a lightsaber before. I was gonna show off my Sidious lightsaber, which is dope as hell. But the battery's dead, so I'm gonna save that for another time. And I'm gonna
stick
with lightsaber.
Performance issues happen in old age.
Yeah.
Sometimes
custom
lightsaber from Galaxy's Edge.
Okay.
Is that is part of the experience where you build your own lightsaber. So it is not.
I gotta do that.
Unfortunately, it's not my experience.
A little more of a view. Do a spin.
It's not. I did not build this one. My father-in-law did, but he passed it on to me. So this is like a little. This is a meaningful gift.
I was about to ask you so many questions about your choices on it, not because I don't like them, but just because I wanted to put you on the spot. And I know you didn't design it.
So
let me dial in your father-in-law.
Yeah, he doesn't watch it, guys. It's not lighting up either. No, it's green.
Well,
it's
at this
green
point,
when
show
it is,
Sidious too. Yeah. Nice.
But
go with the green saber always.
The experience, if you ever have it, so I haven't, like I said, I haven't done the lightsaber, but I have showed off. Oh, he's right here. This little guy that I got.
The droid build.
I did build the droid, and that if you ever have an opportunity, Eric, to bring that with them, like it is one of the cool experience. And I did this like 3-4 years ago, so I'm a 30-year-old man.
It's one of those things I'm definitely going to take them to do. I live in Florida. The thing is, I am like still super far from Disney because I'm all the way up on the northwest part, like almost in Alabama type of thing. So I'm still like a 7-8 hour drive from Disney. But I'm gonna go eventually. So,
well, it will be worth it. And I mean, they're only gonna, I think, keep. Oh yeah, this is the one that has batteries. Dooku.
Oh, did you really just? Oh, that was Dooku.
Look at all my sabers, guys.
Yeah, I'm just gonna bring all this collection, throw it on his desk. Like I got this one. There was like a Disney character, like throwing it over his shoulder while he's showing us.
So this one, but the blade. I show this one, but the blade's tucked away. So,
well, you just
I have a soda can.
I mean, at this point, we've exceeded what was meant to be a quick episode. So you might as well just
Eric,
why don't you just show us your entire lightsaber collection?
Strap in, Howler Runner. You got a lot to talk about.
Y'all better clear your schedules.
Hope you didn't need to go to bed.
Yeah. Anyway, with that said,
I think that does wrap us up for tonight, guys. So great reveals from Hasbro Pulse Live today. Really great trailer for Andor that came out. I'm super stoked for when that comes out. And also some great collector's corner with Matt and I showing off the new Bakaras. And you showing off every single lightsaber that you
I had to compensate because I didn't have the new Bakara and I felt left out. Okay, did you really want me to spell it out for you?
Sometimes you have to for me.
I'm just kidding.
But
I felt sad that I didn't get an ignition. Had to get an ignition on the show.
Yeah.
It happens in old age sometimes.
Green, baby.
Sometimes it just happens. Yeah. Not to me.
You jumpy Jedi.
All right. Well, for those of you guys who have hung out with us tonight, whether you're listening or watching, whether you're watching the recording or on live, we appreciate you guys hanging out with us and spending some time with us. We encourage you to go check out our podcast page on Instagram, which is Sith Happens _Star Wars podcast. On there, you'll find the link tree to all of our various links, including all of our pages, SaberMax page, as well as some other cool stuff for our YouTube, our Spotify, and Amazon Music. So please go check it out. And with that, we'll start signing off here. Ant, why don't you lead us off?
Well,
Are you doing a flourish with your saber off screen? I thought I saw it spinning.
I forget that this square that I see is not what everybody can see, so I gotta really be careful with that. All the scandalous shit I'm doing over here. But no, great cast today. I know it's been a minute, I feel like, since or maybe it's only been a couple weeks, but always good to talk with you guys about Star Wars. And I'm just really excited to have Honey to my boo-boo. Yeah, at this point, that's where I'm at. So that's all I got, guys. Check me out on Instagram. I am not a committee. I post pictures.
I believe now is traditionally my turn. The Honey to my boo-boo, the Bib to my 422. I thank you both for a wonderful, fun night of what started as a salty day, but whenever we're together, it gets better. And we ramped up over the course of the cast. Thank you, Howl Runner, for being so involved. We love doing these live and having somebody want to chime in. So anybody that's listening, always please do. We do this to be a community together with everyone. And with that, I will say, I am Matt, otherwise known as Black Series Daily Desk on Instagram. And may the Force be with you always.
Yes, and for everybody watching, I am the Dadalorian. Thank you guys for joining us today. Catch me on _Dadalorian_ on my Instagram. And thank you guys once again for joining us. This is the way.